Hi guys, happy Saturday. Yeah, nice to be back after a little break. Break that was really needed and that I really enjoyed. Um, it's actually exactly what I want to talk to you about, and is what I was doing on that break. I wasn't anywhere, seaside holidays or anything like that, although I'll go to the 10. But I will tell you all about it. So I thought what we do today is that I'll tell you why I did go on my what I call silent retreat, my homemade silent retreat. Why did I do it? What did I do exactly? And what benefits, whether expected or unexpected, it brought. And then I'll give you tips on kind of toned down versions of it, because let's be honest, I take things to extreme usually, and I have had previous experience with silent retreats as well as fasting and all that stuff, so it's a little bit different than just jumping into it with no previous experience. So I will give you toned down versions, also versions that don't take the whole week, because we don't always have that, especially when we have kids and stuff. So let's get right into it. Of course, throughout the call, if you have any questions, anything's unclear, please let me know, and I'll be very happy to answer. So, why I did it? I was exhausted. I was really tired. I mean, I'm living the life of my dreams. I do so many wonderful things. I dance, I horse ride, I help out at the stables. I do other volunteer work. Obviously, I love my job as well, and I do my job, which is not just the actual massage or the client time. It's paperwork, tax returns. I'm also organizing a charity event and trying to get together a charity community as well, to do with bringing solutions to violence in our society. And I'm also writing a book, and I'm developing a program. There's just lots going on, and I love all these things, so I don't want to give any of them up. But it means that my days are stretched to the limit, I really fill every second. And the time that I had left, when I wasn't doing any of these activities, I filled with scrolling down Facebook, watching movies, or, documentaries and stuff like that. Just kind of doing stuff that wasn't particularly benefiting my journey towards my dream, let's put it that way. Scrolling down Facebook wasn't definitely bringing much benefits. I was it was the kind of 10-15 minutes breaks and stuff like that I was filling with the, this kind of time wasters, really. And that's not resting, sitting down watching TV, it's not resting, not really. You might feel relaxed, but actually we tend to be in really bad positions and tense up even more, and often we watch stuff that actually causes stress in our body, whether it's documentaries that are about upsetting stuff, or thrillers or horror movies that literally are designed to create that fight or flight response in us. Or the movies are triggering, upsetting, so we end up crying or whatever. All this stuff, that's not resting. You're still creating the stress response in your body. So, I also wasn't really doing as much meditation, yoga and stuff, as I was actually advising my clients. I wasn't really in alignment what I knew was best. And all that was really taking a big toll on me, and I was getting very tired and run down. And I was just coming to the end of the tether and I had to do something. So after urging from, well, all my therapists, but mainly Naomi, my Grimberg method therapist, I have touched on what she does before, and she just kept going on and on and on and on about resting, and I was like, okay, I give up. So I booked this week, in the beginning of August. That I cleared it of clients, so there was no clients, there was no activities planned, so I knew it's going to be completely free, and I called it Christina Days. And I decided that during that week I'll just do absolutely nothing, like truly nothing. And as it approached, I realized I need that kind of clean cut and really new start in how I'm going to live my life. So as I do, I took it to a little bit on an extreme, I think, and I will definitely tone it down in the future, but I do not regret it, and it was really helpful. So what I did, I kind of addressed it on several levels. So when it comes to the silence, basically what I did is that I asked my flatmate not to speak to me and to kind of avoid me, which she did, and she was very wonderful, and I haven't even seen her that week. Although she was in a flat, we kind of managed to miss each other, so that wasn't an issue. So I didn't want to speak to anyone, and I did not, apart from two. That's all right when I was in a park and someone's dog was sniffing around my bag. But I really, I didn't have any conversations or anything like that, no phone calls. I put my phone on the airplane mode, so there was no internet, no signal. I wasn't using the phone because, I didn't need an alarm. There was only one night that I used it because I was doing some budget planning, because I felt inspired to do so. But apart from that, I did not use my phone, didn't even look at it. My battery lasted all week, and that's an iPhone, so that tells you something. And so there was no stimulation from that, so I wasn't watching any TV, any DVDs, like not listening to music. I did not read books until the last couple of days, so in the last couple of days I felt like it was time, so I started to, I just finished some books that I had read kind of halfway through. But apart from that, the first 5 days was basically, 4 days, was no stimulation whatsoever. Just me, myself and I would get up in the morning, do some qigong, do some yoga, just as I felt like it, I wasn't forcing anything, I was doing it nice and slow, just did little bits. If I didn't feel like continuing, I didn't. Then I went to the park for a couple hours, came back, meditated, rested. I was doing kind of active resting. I will explain what that is. Again, just thought about stuff, and just potted about, and then again went to the park for a few hours, and again came back and did the same thing, a bit of yoga, a bit of active resting, and went to bed. What I made sure of is that I only used the bed for sleeping, so I wasn't resting on it. So during the day I would not go in my bed, I would rest on the floor or sitting down, but in chair, or I've got yoga cushions and stuff. But yeah, no, bed was for sleeping only. When it came to food, I decided to fast because I had good experience with fasting before. I felt like I needed to reset my digestion. That although I was pretty okay, I had no particular issues. I knew that my blood sugars are a little bit all over the place. That it could be better, and I got into a habit of, it's the summer. I was eating quite a bit of ice cream, like sometimes even 2 a day, which wasn't ideal. It's not that something wrong with it. I mean, I'm pretty active, so on the calorie size I wasn't worried, but I knew it's not doing my body any good, so much sugar and dairy and stuff. So I knew that had to stop. And also, budget-wise, I realized, oh my God, how much I'm spending on sweets. Budget for that was almost as high as for food that actually was bringing some nutrition. So I thought, okay, that, I need to take some responsibility here and change things. So the way I run the fast, and again, it's not exactly something I would recommend to everyone. If you had no experience with fasting, definitely don't do this. I've done quite a bit of fasting in the past, even like a whole week on just water. So I was confident in what I was doing, and I'm also quite aware of my body, so I knew that if it didn't feel right, then I'll just interrupt the fast. So this is just what I did, and as I said, I will give you toned down versions. So the whole thing basically started on Wednesday. So on Wednesday I had just some fruit smoothie in the morning, like half a liter of fruit smoothie in the morning that I made fresh from pineapple, apple, banana, berries. And in the evening I had veg smoothie, which was like half avocado, beetroot, carrot, spinach, and some radishes. So apart from that, I had nothing, just water, and I was taking some vitamins and minerals as well, and omega-3 oil and some deflam, so like turmeric and ginseng and stuff, just to kind of help my body to function when I'm eating less. So that was food-wise. I kind of still was operating until 6-7 p.m. On my phone, like sorting out my admin, sorting everything out, putting the out of office alerts in and stuff like that. So I was kind of ready to really shut down, and then from 6 p.m. disconnected from the world, meditated, a little bit of yoga, and just went to bed. And then the next morning, woke up reasonably early, about 7ish. So it's not like I had a need to sleep like all day or anything like that. And I've prepared kind of like a half-liter box of frozen pineapple and another one of frozen melon. So that's what I had throughout the day. So I basically eat it frozen, so it slows down the way you eat. So like the one box you eat for a few hours, really, like two hours. You just eat it very slowly. So that kind of gives you sustained energy throughout the day, and you don't feel that hungry, but you're not really putting much to your stomach, so it's starting shrinking. And of course plenty of water, herbal teas as well, because when you start fasting, your body stops producing energy for heat. So especially if you're quite slim, so you need to obviously have a bit more layers. So although it was warm, I was layered up, and it's good to have like hot drinks. So you keep some warmth, you bring some warmth to the body, and it's soothing for the stomach as well. So that's what I did food-wise, and that day I was just, as I said, just meditating, yoga, qigong, just resting. Active resting, it's when you sit kind of nice and comfortably or lie down. I prefer to lie down. Close your eyes and you focus on your breath and you focus on breathing relaxation into your body. So you really notice how all the tensions in your body is going, and how your shoulders can relax into the floor, how you can really become heavy in the floor. And you really focus, and it doesn't have to take long, even a minute is fine, but 5-10 minutes a day will make a lot of difference, and your body will rest much more in that time than it even will in a sleep, because when you sleep you dream, so that can be stressful as well. So that kind of really active, just lying down, doing nothing, not thinking about anything, not worrying about anything, not watching TV, not listening to music, not engaging in anything at all, no stimulation, and just focusing on your breath. That's active rest. And that's where your digestion kicks in, where your repair kicks in, so your body can repair itself. That's where healing kicks in, you know. So that's really, really important, and it interrupts stress responses. It lowers your cortisol levels. It'll help you sleep. Like the benefits are just endless. So I was doing lots of that as well, and lots of healing as well, because lots of stuff was coming up. Nothing major. I was a little bit worried because when you spend time just by yourself, with no distractions, your demons, so to speak, tend to come up. You know, they come up for you to deal with because it's a safe environment. And that's why often people don't like doing this, you know, why they always have music on or TV on, there's always something going on in the background, because they can't stand being by themselves and face, you know, themselves. But with all the therapy and work, I know, self-growth I have done, I've dealt with my demons, I have faced them down, and I've accepted them. And self-acceptance is really the big thing. That's what allows you to then be able to rest by yourself and be with yourself and be okay with that. And so I knew that whatever was going to come up, I was going to be okay with it. And so I was, you know, nothing dramatic was happening, but like little things that just needed my attention, that needed to be thought of, whether from a philosophical point of view or just kind of adjusting how I am, what I do with my life. Little things just that were niggling perhaps in the background and that I before didn't have time to address. Now I did, because when it came up, it's like, well, there was nothing else to do, so I used whatever tools I have in my toolbox. So, you know, NLP, hypnotherapy, because you can do that for yourself as well. Also the Psyche, and which is a healing method, and tapping, to EFT. All these things are just, you know, as I felt was appropriate, I used them to deal with whatever came up. And it was nice and gentle and calm. I had some little emotional releases, like with grief, for example, and stuff, just things that bubbled up. Whatever emotions came up, I was able to just sit with them, you know. So if anger came up, frustration, boredom, even tiredness, I was able to just sit with it and just explore it and be curious about what does it feel like in my body, you know, what are the modalities of it, what does it look like, what's the shape, what's like, is it spiky, is it round, is it warm, is it cold, like, you know, all these things, like how does it feel in my body, and just pay attention to it and just then breathe into it and let it go, you know. It's just an emotion, so it just flows. And even tiredness, it was just, I was able to just breathe into it and allow it to just go. The same with boredom, you know, like boredom is kind of your mind's trick, try to make you do something, you know, because if you're not doing anything, it's a terrible thing, then you know. But if you just sit with it and breathe into it, even the boredom dissipates, and you find that inner peace, that just calmness, that kind of quiet joy of just being where you are, and nothing has to be happening, nothing has to be done. It just feels good, you know, it just feels okay. There's nothing to be done, and it's nice to have that stillness for a while. And I just felt incredibly calm throughout this time. It was really, really beautiful week. So then to continue on Friday, Saturday, I had no food at all, just water and cups of tea. I did feel a little weaker, so when I went to the park, I was very gentle with myself. Only kind of, you know, did a walk to the park and walked barefoot, like a little run on the grass, and then I just sat down and lie down, doing the same thing I was doing at home, just resting, meditating, thinking. And then on Sunday, during the afternoon, about like 3 p.m.-ish, I started to feel quite lightheaded, and I just felt like it's time. So I had a little box of frozen melon, and that afternoon, and that was it. And when I went to the park, I took it really, really easy. And then on Monday, again, I had a frozen pineapple, frozen melon, and in the evening I had vegetable smoothie again. And I did much more walking. So I walked about 5k. And then, what did I do? Yes, Tuesday I did smoothie, so I had a fruit smoothie in the morning, veggie smoothie lunchtime, and then for dinner, oh my god, it was heaven. I prepared Spanish omelette, and I had it with some salad, and it was the most delicious thing I've eaten in ages. It was so good. And the next day, Wednesday, I was back to work. I started with an hour and a half weight training. We took it easy. I just kind of built it up because I was still a little weak. But just had a full day at work and just been back to normal since. And as I said, the Monday, Tuesday, I kind of increased my exercise. So I was walking around the park more, a bit faster. I was trying to get back to a bit more normal. And Monday, Tuesday, I started to read as well, which was quite nice. And Tuesday evening, about 6ish, I went back online, caught up with stuff. And I didn't feel like I missed much at all. It was fine. I didn't even want to speak. I felt quite comfortable in my silence. So this is what I did. I hope I didn't miss anything. If you have any questions about any details of any of it, just let me know. And I just need to rub my nose. I'm still clearing because normally when you fast and do things like that, your body is then removing all the inflammation. So you tend to get little sniffles afterwards, but it's all clearing now, so it's much better. So the benefits of it, goodness, where to start? I mean, the expected ones were that I feel healthier, I feel lighter, I feel calmer, I feel rested. I feel like my energy is really coming back. It's not like suddenly at the end of it I was full of energy. It's just my energy felt lighter and more flowing. And now it feels like every day I get more and more of it. I'm kind of buzzing more and more. I'm connected to my body more. I'm going with flow more. And I'm more aligned with myself. So that's something I really was hoping to achieve, and I managed, and I'm very happy with that. And I just pray that I can sustain this for basically the rest of my life, because that's what I want. But since that, since I kind of come back, so to speak, every morning I get up, my phone's still on airplane mode, so I don't even look at it, I just switch off the alarm. Quite often actually I wake up before the alarm. I do my qigong, do some breathing exercises, I do yoga, someone's doing some repair work upstairs, so sorry about the knocking. So I do some yoga, I do meditation, I do the active resting, and oh, hello Marty. And then I am ready to go on with my day. I have a breakfast. So at the moment I've kind of established a little routine when I have just porridge made with water. So just oats with water, with some seeds and nuts and frozen fruit that obviously I warm up in the porridge. With a spoon of honey and some cinnamon. and that's my breakfast. And I started to again prepare my food instead of just buying whatever I found. So that's a bit healthier as well. Still having my Spanish omelette because I made so much of it, with some salad and some fruit, and that's me for the day really. If I have really busy day like physically, then I might add little like oat biscuits or something just to get a little bit more carbs, and just drinking plenty of water, and I don't feel hungry at all. I feel like that really sustains me, and it's perfectly enough for me. So that's kind of a new habit that came in as well, which means I also spend less money, which is good. Yeah, I just feel so much more aligned because I'm now doing all the things that I keep recommending my clients, do yoga, do qigong, meditate, rest, eat healthy, and you feel better. And now I'm finally actually living it too. I always knew that's the right thing to do, and I was kind of doing it on and off. But now it feels like it's established. Now it feels good. It feels like I want to do it, not forcing myself to do it. I'm kind of flowing with it, and it feels lovely. My skin has really cleared as well. It's in much better shape. I had bleeding gums that have cleared as well. My digestion's basically settled to perfection. So there's the kind of things that I expected to happen. And mentally as well, I just feel so much more emotionally stable, and kind of whatever comes my way, I'm ready for it. And I've become so much more focused. I spend much less time, almost no time on Facebook or social media, kind of like for fun. I do some work on it, of course, for my business and for my charity event. But I'm much more focused on achieving my goals. So, I've kind of set little steps that I need to do to achieve whatever I need to achieve, and I'm just going through it one after another. And, I don't go on the kind of fun stuff like watching documentaries or whatever unless I've done all of this, unless I've meditated, unless I've done Qigong, unless I've done yoga, unless I took steps towards my dreams. Only then, if I have any time spare, I'll spend it watching something. And again, I'm not missing it. I'm really not missing it. And I still have time to do all the things I've done before, the dancing, the horses. Yesterday I had amazing bareback ride. It was just so fabulous. A connection with the horse is just something else. So all these things, they still bring joy and activity, into my life. So it helps maintain my health, mentally and physically. So my life's still bloody wonderful. So these are all the kind of positive effects that I expected. The unexpected but kind of nice are I've lost quite a bit of weight. I expected I'd probably drop a kilo or something because I was fasting, I wasn't eating, but I dropped 4. And I dropped it in fat because it's my fat percentage that went down. My size remained more or less the same. I didn't notice massively like on my clothing or anything, but my shape has changed. And since I'm now back to kind of exercising again, my muscle mass is growing, my bone mass is growing. So that's, what I really wanted to achieve long term, and it's finally happening. And I'm finally feeling like I've fit my body, like my idea of who I am kind of fits my skin now, that I feel like I look and feel how I'm meant to, this is who I am, and it feels really good, it feels awesome. So yeah, that's definitely benefit. That was good, and it's staying down. Quite often, like after fasting, if you lose weight, it comes straight back on when you start eating because all the carbs start working their way through. But it's not coming up at all. It's still the same and stable, but I just feel stronger and leaner and fitter and feels fantastic. And I kind of feel cleaner, like there's more freedom in my movement. There's, like my yoga is just coming in leaps and bounds. I'm more and more flexible. My joints are opening. There's less and less pain in my body. So the kind of, the niggling tensions in your neck and stuff, because I get it from my work. That's all clearing, bit by bit. Every day there's less and less niggling pain in my body, and it's wonderful. So then again, that's another benefit I didn't expect to come so quickly. Yeah, that's it really. I mean, I just feel like a different person. I feel like I've left some young Christina behind and became an adult over the week, like I just feel me, I feel like I fit, as I said, my body, like I fit my life, like everything's just falling into place and things are just happening for me. I mean, as soon as I came out from the retreat, I found out that I qualified as an NLP hypnotherapist, so that's all, finally is done. And I've actually done double of the amount of hours that I had to do, so, I already got a bit more experience that normally would be expected. I already have stuff lining up for that, like just sorting out the insurance and stuff. So everything's just, clients contacting me and, out of blue, like people I haven't seen for a while or new ones. So business is like coming in without me like doing any advertising or anything, or pushing sales or something like that. New opportunities are coming through, it's just been absolutely amazing. So yeah, I just can't. Hello, Fia. I'll be seeing you shortly, hopefully. I'm almost done here, but you can rewatch it later. So yeah, that's all the benefits. So, feeling more energy, feeling calm, feeling stable, feeling happy, focused, healthy, light, you name it. It's absolutely worth it. Now, as I said, this is probably taking a little bit kind of hardcore, and I do understand that that's not for everyone, and that perhaps it's not even, possible for everyone with how their lives are run. So I'd recommend to start with little. Better is little than nothing. And I think the most important part of that is that active rest. So if you have time for nothing else and you really cannot have an excuse, just go to bed 10 minutes later and instead rest. But don't rest on your bed. If you have a yoga mat or put a blanket down, just lie down, really focus on relaxing your body, or feeling it kind of being really heavy into the floor. Breathing into every cell of your body, really bring the breath throughout your body. I have guided you through this before, kind of all the way to your fingertips, all the way to your toes. I think I will do guided meditation maybe next week. So it's something you can use as well during your active rest. And if you do that for at least 5-10 minutes a day, even with first thing in the morning, last thing at night, you can do it twice, you can do it 10 times a day, you can do it for longer. But it's about kind of keeping the focus and the relaxation and making sure that you're not spiraling into thoughts that are worrying you or causing you stress. So it's really about staying present with your body. So perhaps trying to do it for an hour can be a bit too ambitious because you will drift off. It's something, it takes quite practice to be able to stay aware and present for so long. So, target of, even if you start with a minute and build it up to 5 or 10, that minute will give you so much good, I promise you. And then if you want to do more, perhaps reserve an hour a week, or if you can, 5 hours a week, or a day a week, whatever you can fit in with what you feel comfortable with to start with. But do push yourself out of the comfort zone a little bit. Put your phone on an airplane mode for that amount of time, so an hour, 5, or a day, or whatever. Don't watch TV, don't put a radio on, don't listen to music, don't read books, don't talk to anyone. Have that space just for you. Just sit there or lie there, the active rest, or just sit there and think, see what comes up. If you start to feel a bit distressed, because you feel worried or whatever, write it down. Journal it. Just write whatever comes to your head. Don't censor it. Don't question it. Just write whatever comes up. If it's like, I'm so fucking furious, this person said that, this person, just write it like that. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be nice. It doesn't have to be polite. Just write it. Write whatever's inside you, because once it's outside, it's not causing all that stuckness inside you. Yeah. If you feel numb, just write, I feel really numb and I don't feel anything and that bothers me, or whatever, however you feel about it. Just go with the flow. Whatever comes to your mind, write it. If you're in that space that you can just be in a peaceful bliss and just breathe, then it's perfect too, and you don't have to do any writing, just go with whatever feels right. And if you want any guidance on this and you want to talk to me about this, please let me know. This is what I'm here for. If you have you notice patterns, that certain issues keep coming up all the time, and then kind of, so to speak, demons coming up that feel scary and you don't want to deal with them on your own. So this is exactly why I'm here. That's exactly what I can help you with. So just give me a call. We have a consultation. That's free. We just have a chat and see if and how I can help you. So you don't have to be in this alone, but you're not gonna know what you need to deal with, what is kind of bringing the energy down for you, unless you sit down with yourself and pay attention. And once you remove all those energy wasters, all those energy suckers, you'll feel amazing, and you'll be still as busy and you'll be still exposed to the same stressful, situations, but you'll deal with them so differently. Because I can tell you, because that's what I've experienced. That's what I'm living, the same shit happens, but I am completely different how I perceive it and how I deal with it and how I feel about it. So these things are changeable. You don't have to be stuck where you are. You don't have to feel the way you do. You don't have to be exhausted all the time, or tired, or angry, or frustrated, or upset, or whatever, depressed, numb, whatever. You don't have to stay there. It's how it is now, but you can change it, and I can help you if you want to. But the first thing is awareness, and the awareness will not come unless you give it space. So that's why all this switching off, or that silent retreat, even if it's just an hour a week, it's better than nothing, and will help you to just bring stuff to the surface, for you to notice and to resolve and let go of. So that would be the next step. Again, start slow. So maybe an hour. When you feel comfortable with that, go for 5. When you feel comfortable with that, go for a whole day. Maybe once a month, do a day of silent retreat. And, maybe one day you'll feel brave enough to do 3 days or a week. Of course, there are silent retreats that you can go on, like organized silent retreats. Which I think for first-time experience actually really nice, because that's what I've done. It's structured. There's kind of like safety in that you can always actually do. There are therapists there, and you can speak to people if need be. You just need to check the time, because I have a client or two. They offer that kind of little safety net if you don't feel completely okay with just doing it on your own. why I didn't do it this time is because I actually needed that lack of structure. I needed that space to be able to just with the flow, just to really do exactly what I feel like. Some people call it living it from heart. So you're following your heart. It's about what it feels right. So does it feel right to do yoga now? Because I'm doing yoga because I feel like it, not because because it's scheduled in my in my daily routine or something. I feel like moving, so I'm gonna go for a walk. I feel like facing the sun, so I just sit there facing the sun. I feel like drinking some water, so I drink some water. It was very fluid, and that's the reason I did it that way. I didn't want a structure. I didn't want a timetable to follow. But that sometimes that timetable, that structure can offer a kind of like a safer feeling when initially you're way out of your comfort zone, kind of being just with your head, because it kind of offers interruptions and intervals to kind of bring you back. Hello Gary, nice to see you here. Again, I'm almost done, but you can always rewatch it later. So yes, that's the resting, that's the switching off. With the food, everyone's different. Everyone's got different nutritional needs. There's no one perfect diet for anyone. There really isn't, no matter what people tell you. One size fits all doesn't exist. You need to find what works for you with your lifestyle, with what you like as well. Because, if there's some miracle mushroom diet, then I'm not gonna be eating it. I can promise you that. Because I hate mushrooms, it's just not gonna happen, So it's about finding your way, and if you find a good nutritionist, they will help you to find it. And I'm happy to give you some tips from my experience, because I've done lots of different diets and ways of eating until I finally find what works for me, so I can help you discover for yourself what would work for you. So I wouldn't give you advice exactly, but kind of help you to make it clear to yourself what is it actually that's good for you and how you feel after food. So again, like fasting, be careful with it. If you have any illnesses, if you have low blood pressure, if you have issues with sugars, if you if you're slim, or breastfeeding or pregnant, obviously, all this kind of thing. Fasting, it's a tricky thing, and you should study it first or speak to someone who is experienced in it, have some guidance on it. However, intermittent fasting is very, very safe. So intermittent fasting means that there's bigger gaps between meals, especially between your last and your first. So for example, if you have dinner at 6, then don't eat anything until your breakfast. Let's say, I don't know, you have breakfast at 7, 8 in the morning. So you have quite a nice big gap overnight for your body to recover and digest everything properly. So that can be very good. It's for cleansing the digestive system and improving your skin and all that kind of stuff. So again, very happy to talk about it. I'll have to really wrap up because I have to get ready for my client. But again, very happy to talk about this. So if you have any questions, just type them in. I will answer them later if you are watching later, or I can do more videos on if some questions require a bit more time. Very happy to help. As I said, this is what I do. I'm here to make your life better. So whatever the problem, let me know, and we'll see if I can help. One phone call won't hurt, and if I can't help, then I might be at least recommend someone who can. So you have nothing to lose, only to gain a life that actually is worth living. And trust me, life whether in pain, whether physical, emotional, if you're stressed, if you're anxious, if you're depressed, if you're numb, that's not life worth living. It's tiring, it's exhausting, it's lack of joy. It's kind of like, what's the point? You just live for your job, for your kids, for your partner, for your parents, whatever. Life worth living is when you live it for yourself, and all the other things are just bonuses. And when you feel the joy of just being alive, of just being and doing whatever you're doing, of just being at peace. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when I was suicidal, I would not believe you, I can feel that way. But I am telling you, if I could get here, and I'm getting teary actually saying that, you can too. I've come a long fucking way, I really have, and it feels amazing. I'm so finally here. Like, I'm happy. I am not like high happy, but like steady happy. Like, everything in my life has its place, the good and the bad and the ugly, and it's all okay, and I'm calm, and I still feel pain, and I still cry, and I still get crazy shit angry, but it's all okay. Nothing is stuck, it's all flowing, and there is just this undercurrent of curiosity and excitement about what else life will bring, and I'm no longer exhausted. And that makes such a fucking difference. Please do not think that exhaustion is a norm. It really isn't, no matter how busy you are. Being a bit tired in the evening after a busy day is different to being exhausted when you wake up in the morning. And trust me, I know the difference because that's exactly how I lived my life before. I was exhausted in the mornings. Now I'm looking forward to getting out of bed. I can't wait to get out and to do my qigong and my yoga and look forward to whatever's coming, and loving my days. And they are really, really busy. Nothing has changed in my schedule. It's just more productive, actually. And it's more enjoyable. So you can have this too. I really have to wrap up now because I'm really pushing it. But yeah, please do, I think I went on a tangent a little bit, but I hope I covered everything I promised I would have. If you have any questions, let me know. And make sure you do switch off. Make sure you do the active rest, and make sure that you make your diet the best you can. And I promise your life will improve massively with just these little steps. So this is me, Christina Mendez-Macieva from KMM Sanity Therapies. I'm based in Highgate Holistic Clinic. My practice is mainly massage and NLP hypnotherapy. And I help people to get better lives for themselves on physical as well as mental level. I do pregnancy massage as well. I teach courses. I have a membership scheme. I've got a lot going on. So any questions, fire them at me, and I will be answering as soon as I can. All right, have a lovely, lovely week. I'll see you next week. And yeah, we'll see what next week brings. Have a lovely weekend. Bye bye, guys.